characters, they're believable. And then we have JPK, we have industry legends like James Groman, Nikki Davis, Sarah McPherson, Algran Chamaco,
Ah c'est bon, ça fonctionne.
We're not just picking from one person's perspective,
Ça fonctionne.
which really helps to kind of
Ah bah enfin.
broaden those cultural references.
Ouais, il y a eu un petit souci technique. Du coup, vous avez loupé 1 heure, mais c'était 1 heure de vide. Vous n'avez rien loupé. Donc, on se retrouve ce soir sur la conférence de Tech2 Interactive. Mais pour le moment, de toute manière, vous n'avez rien loupé. C'était nul à chier. Limite, là, ils ont réussi à faire pire pour le moment que Square Enix. Mais je pense que c'était un truc de pré-show, mais il ne l'avait pas précisé, donc c'était pour ça, c'était beaucoup de blabla pour rien. Mais même là, maintenant, c'est encore beaucoup de blabla pour 3 fois rien, et voilà, il nous présente un truc, c'est une sorte de pop-like en jeu vidéo, voilà, OSEF quoi, OSEF. Voilà, voilà. J'ai juste checké si on m'entend bien sur le PC.
Exhibit games like Blankos, I think it's a really great bridge between the traditional mediums of creating art,
Parfait, on
digital art,
m'entend.
or
Donc
street art
vous
or stuff
m'entendez,
like that,
tout
and
est
then
bien,
into the game.
tout finit bien.
And that's cool because I mean
Voilà,
all the
voilà.
elements that are
Pour le moment, c'est soporifique, hein. Je vais essayer d'animer comme je peux. Hein.
Anything else, weenies in the back?
So now that the video is coming to a close, download Blankos, blankos.com, bring your vinyl toys to life, build your own levels, buy all the designs from your favorite brands, artists, and designers, share it with all your friends so they download and play it together. And we look forward to seeing you within the world of Blankos.
But wait, we're partnering with the fashion industry's most coveted brands to bring you their style, Blanko style. And our first collab is a name you'll recognize. They're known worldwide for their signature plaids and heritage prints.
I'm incredibly excited to announce that Burberry will be partnering with Mythical Games to launch a limited edition Blanko in their game Blanko's Blockbuster.
J'ai un ventilo qui fait un drôle de bruit. Je vais couper mon micro 2 secondes, excusez-moi.
Our communities have always been at the heart of what we do as a brand. Being a part of this creative and pioneering community with Mythical Games is an incredible synergy for us and a perfect evolution of our existing engagement with the gaming communities. This partnership presents Burberry's first exploration into the world of NFTs. This opens up a whole new platform of possibilities, and it empowers digital natives and gamers to own a piece of our brand and actively engage and participate with our house codes. We can't wait to embark on this pioneering journey with Mythical Games as we explore the future of digital ownership in gaming, whilst discovering new environments and a myriad of possibilities within this community.
All right, you got the last word. Make it count.
That's a good question. Let me give me 5 seconds here to think about it.
All right, guys, let's cut on cameras.
Thank God.
If you're ready to start building, playing, and earning, you can download and join Blanko's Block Party now in early access on PC.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Also, watch your favorite content creators on Twitch this week for a chance to get an exclusive new Blanko, only available through Twitch.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
On behalf of all of us at Mythical, thanks for joining.
I feel like you nailed it.
To E3 2021, and we'll get to our thoughts on Mythical Games here in a second, but first we wanted to remind everyone that they could win a $100 gift card from our partners at DoorDash just by tagging them in a tweet and following them on Twitter. It's as simple as that. But Mythical Games, I said before, it's a different kind of experience, right, Jackie? It's did you learn a little bit about the blockchain?
I mean, I learned so much, and honestly, the art was breathtaking.
Yeah.
They were talking about how this is the evolution of modern art. I think Deadmau5 himself said this is a safe haven for street art, and I'm honestly just blown away by the entire concept. You were ticket me like 101. It was basically like NFT 101, Bitcoin 101, all of this stuff like kind of went over my head. But when you broke it down for me, I think it was just so intimidating to me before. Like, I was like, I don't even know how to get into this. But then once you broke it all down, I was like, I understand the concept and the proof of authority. Like, this is amazing for us to have that. And then to just bring in art and entertainment and design, like, I'm here for it. I love it.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to school me some more. We're gonna have to do some private lessons.
I got you covered. But the one 15-minute presentation.
Exactly. You didn't get to see us. By the way, you
I'm
need
gonna do a
to
TED
make
Talk.
one of these, right? I saw your art earlier. It was phenomenal.
Stick figure art, amazing. Blankos, hit mythical. I'm all about it. The great, at its core though, let's not forget, Blankos and Block Party is a game,
right?
And it has one of those types of Roblox experiences to it, where it's a make your own adventure type of game, and those are really picking up. Like I know a lot of people want to knock on it, but Roblox is like one of the biggest games of all time, and huge on YouTube and stuff. So it's clear that like this is a great direction for something like this to go where you can express your creativity.
Right, 100%. And I think that's what's interesting about it is their presentation was so focused on how NFTs work, what they're doing, the designers and artists they're partnering up with. It makes sense in the way of, hey, we want you to understand the business side of it. But for me, I was more, can we see more of the game? Can we talk more about the games? And I was talking to you about it, and it's an idea of like, well, you could, but you can make whatever you want, right? And that's what stands out to me, as a little Big Planet fan. Even for Mod Nation Racers, but then more like
Mod Nation Racers.
Right? Right now, like think about how Core is doing this, how Roblox is doing this. Get in and make your own games. The fact there's already been more than 20,000 block parties they're talking about there. They called it out. You can make shooters, you can make platformers. It's like it's early access right now. It's free to play on PC. It's one of those like, jump on in. It doesn't cost you anything. That you don't have to buy a guy right away or do
exactly.
Anything like that.
A very, very cool concept. I'm very excited to see where they go from here. 100% great. 100%.
And also, anyone can hit you up on Twitter for private lessons, correct?
Yeah, totally.
Just make the YouTube video of it, Golden Boy. That's all you need to do.
I'm just trying to get out of frame, guys. Okay.
I'll get you out of here. What do you do when you get one of the hottest DJs on the planet collaborates with one of the sick indie titles we're talking about? Well, I caught up with Deadmau5 and Jamie Jackson of Mythical Games to explain how they plan to keep the party going for Blankos and the crew.
He talked to Deadmau5. What?
So how did this collaboration come about?
I think Inder forced it on us.
Yeah, Rudy forced it on me. We didn't want to work together again. We would.
No. It was all mandated. Orders from above, from our benevolent overlords.
So that's mostly true, but also, we're in the video game world, we're in the NFT world. Joel, you've done some cool stuff in it as well, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I've been playing around with that, but I outside of like the woo and wah selling JPEGs for tens of thousands of dollars, I really liked what you guys were doing with like kind of the integrating.
Du coup, le problème est réglé. Ça venait pas du ventilateur, ça venait du frigo. Voilà. Bon, sinon, pour l'instant, c'est beaucoup de blabla pour rien du tout. On sait pas de quoi est-ce que ça parle. Ça parle encore de leur jeu débile là. Voilà quoi. On attend la suite. On attend la suite, messieurs. Ah, pour le moment, ça va être long.
I knew like how Joel's cat Meowingtons is a big part of his life, and it felt like we wanted to represent the head of Mouthhead, who's such an iconic part of who he is and what he does, but we kind of didn't want to just do a modification to the Blanco. We wanted to make it a bit bigger than that, so it's actually the first time we've got a full head attachment in the game. And then we were like, well, it'd be cool if when that head comes off, it's not Joel underneath, and it's Meowingtons, and we kind of took a play on that, and I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was really cool that they didn't just schlep a mouse head on it and call it a day. I mean, they also integrated the cat, my cat, Meowingtons, who I'm a big fan of, and just the fact that it's like the mouse head, but when they take the mouse head off, it's actually Meowingtons, which is
J'ai soif, messieurs. Bon, on va prendre un petit truc à boire. De l'eau, ce serait bien. J'ai chaud là.
Yeah, I stopped doing that. It was just too much effort. I like the first 2 or 3 shows, I did the suit thing, and then like, you know what?
Généralement, quand on commence à parler d'eau,
it's too much. We're gonna strip it down a bit.
It's a cool throwback, though.
Et de chaleur, devant une conférence qui parle de rien,
stuff too. So we're just going
C'est que
through
c'est très
trials and
mauvais signe pour la
tribulations
conférence.
of what is it? Because I think the general consensus right now
Je dis
is
ça,
you ask
je dis rien.
street, oh, it's an NFT. Oh, isn't that like a $10,000 JPEG? You know, is kind of the answer you're going to get. But it's really a lot more than that. It's the underlying framework and technology that allows for, you know, the blockchain provenance, you know, that unique identifier that can be used from platform to platform to platform. So think of it as like what Steam's is to video games is, you know, is like the world's Steam, you know, like, so it's every time you log into Steam or something like that, they're gonna use Steamworks to, like, you know, grab achievements and stuff like that. It's all stored on that centralized system. The blockchain being the similar concept, but decentralized across all computers and stuff like that. And because the way that the infrastructure works with blockchain is that that's all very easily swappable. The metadata, not the actual assets, but that metadata that ties to the assets can be interchangeable between a multitude of systems. So now I think that people are just now starting to kind of take in that standard protocol of, you know, fetching and receiving wallet data and stuff like that. Tying
Le mec
assets to
va réussir à
individuals
m'endormir.
through game platforms is a big win.
But then what are the benefits of NFTs for players?
So from a Blanco's point of view, it's about trust, really. If you boil it down, it's about trust and proof of ownership. You know, no gamer has truly owned any asset they've ever bought in a game before. You know, it's all just a license, right? And you kind of just trusting them, there's no way to prove it. Whereas with NFTs, you can kind of, it's proof, you can see it, it's open, you know, if we say there's this many, there's this many. If you own it, you own it. And with Blancos and our marketplace, that means you can also go and sell it as well. So really, it's just about trust and truly owning the assets that you pay money for.
When's the first Deadmau5 Blanco drop?
This summer.
This summer? Like this summer or next summer? This summer. Oh, nice.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Now, let's get back to the show.
One of the things I liked, obviously, in the Deadmau5 presentation here was him being very much like, why are you doing this with your brand? He's like, because nobody knows what it is. Like, it's groundbreaking, it's cutting edge, and like, I like the idea of embracing something that is
passionnant.
translate to video games. Who knows? The other thing I like that I didn't call it in the original presentation, because I didn't get the presentation about NFTs from Gold Boy, you know. So I didn't.
Oh, you didn't get the special one-on-one.
But I really appreciate the idea that the original artist gets money on these. I didn't realize that. You make it, and I buy it from the marketplace, but then I sell it.
Well,
20
you
times
know,
over.
you heard what he said, right? Like, you know, he makes one of the artists said, I make a piece, and then that piece gets sold, and then that piece gets resold, and then resold and resold, and that artist doesn't see the value from it. And I think that's something that a lot of people, you know, can relate to. Like content creators can relate to that. Content gets reused all the time, and they don't see anything from that. And this is like a way through the blockchain to be able to ensure that through these smart contracts, you can do that. So it is beneficial for the creator, which, you know, without the creators, we don't get a lot of these cool things, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Proof of authority in the blockchain.
Girl, there you go.
I'm proud of myself.
Work. I don't know what that is. If you don't, you know what, get out of here. Well, I hope you folks at home like indie games, because we've got you covered. We are going to take a quick break, and then our Voices of E3 will discuss the indie gaming industry right before we reveal some of the hottest new indie titles releasing soon. So stay with us. If indie is the future is now. Ooh, that did not go as far as I thought.
My craziest E3 story is that I lost my wallet at the beginning of the day. I had this Pokeball wallet, and it dropped out of my bag, and I thought, well, that's it. My life is ruined. Well, I still got to get all this footage in. So I still did E3, and then I got a call from Lost and Found, and they'd actually found my wallet, and I felt like that was the biggest W of my life.
On va checker un
I had
truc.
an amazing E3. I got to go to the Cyberpunk Lounge. I got incredible footage, and I got my wallet back.
Ça n'a pas l'air de fonctionner.
As a part of Play for All, GameSpot will be bringing you the latest gaming news and announcements, interviews with developers, the biggest press conferences, and lots more. Play for All is our yearly online event that combines the excitement and announcements of E3 with charity live streams the following week with lots of special guests who are going to help us raise money for able gamers. So join us in June for E3 and Play for All on GameSpot.com, YouTube.com/GameSpot, Twitch.tv/GameSpot, and as a part of E3's official broadcast. See you then.
篝火营地是中国领先的游戏媒体，创立于2018年，致力于为全世界的中文游戏玩家提供专业、精准、迅速的资讯情报。篝火营地立足于中国，与多家国际一流游戏媒体同行达成正式内容合作关系，源源不断地将最新鲜的游戏资讯第一时间带给全球中文游戏玩家。自成立以来，篝火营地在全网的内容浏览量已经超过5亿，服务了数百万的读者和玩家。我们的愿景是做游戏文化传播者。您可以在全球各大手机应用市场下载篝火营地 APP， 或者访问3w.gamebonfire.com 来加入游戏传播者的行列。
And you're joining us at E3 for a panel on indie games. I'm joined by our 4 panelists, including Ariko.
Hi, I'm Ariko. I am a self-proclaimed Nintendo lifer. I want to work at Nintendo as long as they will keep me. I am head of indies, and I'm probably one of the handful of people who have worked in all 3 major regions, so Nintendo of Japan, Europe, and currently I work at Nintendo of America. I'm super honored and excited to be here today. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mike Micah. I'm studio head for Other Ocean and Digital Eclipse. I've been making games for far too long, but my favorite games these days happen to be these really fun small games called indie games.
Hi, Michelle Branstetter, Director of Business Development for Freedom Games. I started in games long ago, PS1, Brew, even earlier than that. Love it, excited to be here. Thank you for having me, and excited to announce more games too.
Hi, I'm Edmund McMillan, creator of Super Meat Boy, Binding of Isaac, and a bunch of other games. I'm an indie game developer. You may know me from Indie Game the Movie. Well, maybe not, it's 10 years old, but...
En vrai, le chat dessus, c'est beaucoup d'abrutis, donc ça, on n'en a pas besoin. Hop! Ce chat-là, en tout cas.
More and more people playing games. Indie games have filled the void of social and activities in the day-to-day life just as much as AAA.
J'ai oublié de vous remettre l'image, désolé. Excusez-moi.
Games and larger publisher games is becoming blurred in the eyes of gamers.
It's becoming more of a drastic thing. Like there are super indies, and then there's this like marketable indie, which is I think a more acceptable thing that a lot of but it's kind of surprising. The real breakout hits tend to be the ones that aren't even being looked at by a publisher, that are just being picked up by, you know, going viral, essentially.
It's right to say that like indie seems to be the in thing right now. A lot of people are like, you know, indie games, go here, it's like a category, go to the indie games category. But I do like the idea of blurring the lines, because when I was a kid buying software or downloading software, whatever you're doing back then, I would not disassociate what Jeff Minter was doing from, say, an Activision game at the time. And right now, when I'm sitting there like going through a storefront, I'm not looking for like specific things. Things catch my eye, and I see all these smaller games. There's so many of them now. But like, I'm actually looking for something that appeals to me. It's like when I used to go to the music store and go to different sections in the store. I wasn't really looking for specific artists. I was trying to find that artist that spoke to me and take a gamble on it. I love that part of this right now. I love that somebody can still in their garage with all the engines we have now and all the help that you can get online and create a vision and then put it out there for people to either come en masse and enjoy, or just, you know, just come to take a look, and maybe you don't sell that many games, or maybe you don't like get that many downloads. But to me, that is what Edmund's saying is the quintessential indie in my mind.
I want to add to that, because at Nintendo we're definitely seeing that. I think there's such a ease to access. There's more accessibility to tools and technology now, and so a lot of the smaller developers are able to self-express and really create unique experiences that they want to do. And at Nintendo, we definitely discussed about, okay, how do we define indies? Like, what does that mean? And ultimately, we decided,
Mais qu'est-ce que ça vient foutre dans une conférence de Tech2? Qu'est-ce que vient foutre Nintendo of America?
If you look at our Indie World showcases, it's really intentional.
Non mais en fait, je viens de comprendre, mais c'est fini. La conférence Tech2, elle est finie. Genre la conf Tech2, c'était uniquement le... Oh là là là, c'était nul.
Do you feel that having the Nintendo Switch and the graphics style that's popular in the games and just the wealth of indie titles that are available on the platform is due to the platform itself or to the audience that you have or your connection with those developers?
Bah, c'était pourri, il y avait que dalle. Beaucoup de blabla pour rien. Voilà quoi. Qu'est-ce que vous voulez que je vous dise? Sérieusement.
At Nintendo, we always talk about diversity and innovation, like those two words come out all the time. And we have indie teams based in Europe and Japan and the US and elsewhere, and we all have an equal voice. It's truly global when we think about, okay, what do we want to showcase through our campaigns? And so we want to make sure that that our global teams have equal voices and the content reflect our audience.
Absolutely. Michelle, I know that Freedom Games publishes many games from small developers. Do you see those developers that you're publishing them as indies, and do they identify as indies themselves?
Yeah, most of our developers really do identify as indie, and then I want to say the indie space.
Mais oh là là, mais en fait, ils ont la conférence Tech2, elle est finie. C'était vraiment que du blabla, et là ils repartent encore sur du blabla. Bah écoutez, vous savez quoi, je pense que on peut s'en arrêter là. Hein. On attendra la conférence de ce soir en espérant que ce ne sera pas du même acabit. Le nom de la conférence c'était, je vais vous le dire, à quelle heure c'est. Limited Run à 22h, voilà. Donc parce que là pour le moment c'est du blabla de toute manière. C'est tellement du blabla depuis tout à l'heure qu'on n'a même pas fait gaffe que en fait la conférence Tech2 a été finie. Je pensais que c'était toujours la même chose là. Donc voilà. Moi je vous dis à 22h si vous le souhaitez, pour ceux qui le souhaitent, qui le désirent, être là. Et puis voilà. Moi, en attendant je vais aller manger et puis je reviendrai vers vous. Voilà, moi je vous dis à très bientôt, hein, à tout de suite, et je sais même pas si je vais la laisser en rediffusion cette conférence, tellement que c'était nul, en plus on a eu des soucis techniques, ça ne fait aucun sens de la laisser en ligne, sérieusement. Voilà. Merci d'avoir été là, pour ceux qui étaient là, et moi je vous dis à ce soir, à 22h, pour la conférence Limited Run, et il y a intérêt à ce que ce soit pas du tout du même acabit, hein, sinon ça va pas le faire. Moi je vous dis à très bientôt tout le monde.